Back to Dark Souls 2. I'm going to be starting over. The original time that I tried to play this game, I didn't beat it. I got to an area that had a boss with a boy and a girl, and you could kill one of them, and if you didn't have the other one dead at the exact same time, they would spawn back to full health. And it was frustrating enough to make me quit this game. I am going to hopefully beat it this time. I don't have any plans to quit. I want to hopefully make it past that part, but there's no guarantee. So, as always, we're going to put the brightness down 2 from the end. We're going to make sure the camera sensitivity is up 1. I want the vibration function to be full. Jump controls will not be L3. We're going to leave it on circle. Voice chat's going to be allowed. Cross-region play is going to be allowed. The music volume... I wasn't getting in trouble for the music volume when I was doing it before. We're going to turn it there. We're going to have voice volume all the way up, and sound effects are going to be 3 from the end. I didn't see a subtitle thing, so hopefully they're automatically on.
Perhaps you've seen
They are.
it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything. Once branded. The symbol of the curse. An augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drang Lake. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why.
Didn't mean to skip the cutscene, but oh well. Most people have seen the cutscene before. We came to the gate to fall here. To the forest betwixt things. So we're gonna start by running directly this way. There's a few stops we could make along the way that, since I played the game before, I know about. We'll make a couple of them, this being one of them. Giant footprints, hooray! Everybody loves the giant footprints. We're gonna meet what made them. It's this thing that has one eye and one horn. It's the Purple People Eater. Just kidding. So dodging that isn't too hard, but getting hit by that is very deadly at this point. You can look around, there isn't really anything off the bridge. There is another spot we're gonna stop at real quick, and it's right here. There's a path downward, right beside the hut that leads behind the waterfall, and the reason is because there's an item over here. The small and silky stone. We'll come across quite a few of them, but they're not immediately important. Let's go through another cutscene and then I'll talk a little more.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
Our name is simply M.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look. Who do you
So this
think
is
it's
humanity in
supposed
this
to
game.
be?
Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
So here we are. We're going to go with probably the bandit, is what I originally thought. Looking at the stats, it looks like the bandit would be something I'd be interested in. The swordsman is what I went with last time, I think. Maybe the knight. The bandit is something that I'm really interested in trying. Something with a lot of strength. The bandit or the cleric? The cleric, I think I have to use spells. So I'm hesitant to go with the cleric. They have a lot of strength and intelligence and life, but I'd have to raise dexterity. The swordsman is what has the highest in intelligence and dexterity, but it doesn't have much for life. The bandit. The bandit's pretty high in all the things that I usually go for. I'm going with the bandit. Gift, it doesn't matter what we choose for a gift. It doesn't matter at all. I didn't ever figure out what the seed of the Tree of Giants did. I had it in one of my previous videos. I tried looking it up, I think, at one time, but I don't remember. Doesn't matter. The human refugees are probably going to be used as healing items in this playthrough. They can help summon people like the humanity used to do, and like the... I forget what it's called in Dark Souls 3, but it's different again there. We're gonna start out with the... We're gonna go with the healing wares. I think I went with that last time, but it's just fine. And then what the rest of our character looks like doesn't really matter because we'll cover it up with armor anyway. So yeah, this is my true self.
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
To die.
You're no different, I should think.
To die.
Doesn't stand a chance.
I didn't.
You never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You'll lose your souls.
Your souls.
All of them.
All of them. Over and over again.
Again.
I wish it would have told me that the first time around. The first game was great. I did the DLC. I completed the main story. I did everything that was to be done. Took me some time, but I got there. So hopefully we'll get there this time around in this game too. I kind of like the whole chest exposed look. When I was playing Neverwinter Nights, they did it in a way that was flashy, but this doesn't feel flashy to me. It feels nice. Anyway, that game was made a long time ago. I shouldn't be judging a game that was made forever ago. So I know how to play the game. We're gonna hack and slash our way through this enemy. Hi. Great, I killed them. It's amazing. We're only going through here because I need the souls. This is a sneaking tutorial. Sneak up behind this guy. Do it. No, my controller doesn't like sneaking. Oh, it worked. Great. So that's what it looks like when you sneak up behind somebody. You do a move called a backstab. Which my controller doesn't like to do, so I'll be facing a lot of things head-on instead of sneaking. This is another one of those areas where they're like, you need to dodge, or you need to have a shield, and I don't have either one as the bandit, so we're just gonna maul through things. I like to sound like I know what I'm doing, but I did rage quit this game once already, and I'm hoping I don't do it again, because I want to get through it once. One time is enough, though, if I actually get through it. I got through Dark Souls 1 and all the DLC. Now we're going with this game. Life Gem. We have some of those. They're healing items. I don't really need them. I've only been hit like once. So, ladders. You have to make sure to kick the ladders. We picked up a petrified something, which we'll use here. So the petrified something is what they're asking for, so we're gonna roll all the way over to this small and silky stone and leave it.
Silky smooth.
So now we get a random item. We got a cracked red eye orb, which lets us invade. They're gonna repeat the same thing over and over, and I'm not interested in hearing it, so we're moving on. Let's go down this path. Here we go. Good enough. So this is where they teach us how to jump, and jumping kind of sucks in this game, so I don't know if it's gonna go well, but here we go. It did go well. Great. I didn't die within the first 15 minutes of gameplay. Okay, face the jump. Oh! I just about died. Didn't die. Still didn't die within the first 15 minutes of gameplay. It's amazing. I've been kind of speeding through things, so it really is kind of amazing, but... Anybody else? Ow. Good enough. Woo, and here we are at the other side. I think there is one other way to go. Somewhere. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Here's a little overlook. Those things are petrifying frogs. They will cause you to have a curse that will half your health or whatever. Half your health sucks because if you only have half your health, you have to spend souls at a certain place or have a certain item to be able to undo that curse. We're gonna run up this way. Run! All these online messages that I won't be reading because they're usually trolling you anyway. Okay, so now that we're out here, if you look down here, there is just an open area, but I like to stay super close to this wall when I first walk into this area, because if you find the opening, right here there's a hidden path that you can drop down into. Somebody died, I don't know how, but they did. And if you keep walking down this hidden path and go back a little ways, you can find the Morning Star and the Sacred Crag's Charm. The Morning Star was my best friend in the last game. Don't know if it'll be my best friend this time around. Binoculars are always useful. Those let you peer closer at items, and if you don't find this pair of binoculars, I haven't found another place in the game to get them. So, kinda need them. It's important. This is an area we'll get to later that leads to an area called the Forest of Giants. Instead, we would have come down a path over here if I hadn't dropped down. I'm gonna go back up there to get some items. And we'll explore the area that's down there in a moment. So we came out of the cave that's up here on this side. That's a cave to a separate area that we won't be going to yet, but I want to pick up this item, the Divine Blessing, which cures us of any status elements, including poison, petrification, and many other things, and also puts us at full health immediately. The first thing I'm going to do here in town is run over to the bonfire and light it. Done. And then I'm gonna head up here. So if you head up here, there's a person sitting here, and then there's something else. And this is how many deaths are currently worldwide. There used to be something that it actually said on the back, but the letters are now worn beyond recognition. I don't remember what the letters said, but I know it used to actually say something different.
You're undead, aren't you? This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement. A place where life is almost normal. And in Drang Lake these days, there are very few places like that. I am Solden. And like you, I lost everything. And now I'm here. You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody. Do you know much about souls? Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive. To walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die, and that's quite a predicament, really.
So I talked about this a little bit in one of my previous live streams, but I believe Earth to be the place between heaven and hell we call purgatory. A never-ending suffering streak met with good parts of life in between.
There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against. Each has a powerful soul. And a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now. like I have. Do you ever cry out for help? The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You will face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
And I think we will. For now. So, if you take a look by my health bar, now I get a new symbol for joining a covenant.
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence. Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
So, we can continue to talk to him. We are gonna learn the welcome gesture and walk away. We're gonna head over to now the blacksmith, and he's right here sitting right outside of the shop area.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant, but now somebody's gone and locked the door. I'm a blacksmith. I'm nothing without my tools. Bring me that key. Chop chop.
So we'll come back to that eventually. We're gonna run over to this area and pick up an item.
Oh, and one without much time remaining.
I talked to it through the wall.
Oh,
whoops. I didn't intend to talk to them, so we got another life gem. The thing that I was talking to is inside of this building. So that's just a bit of a clipping issue. Here we are.
Who are you again? You do have a rather pleasant scent. The type I'm quite fond of.
So this is Sweet Sequoia, which is where we're going to be buying items like rings and probably some homeward bones, but there isn't too much here we'll buy. She does have her own covenant, I think. No, she allows us to abandon covenants and shows covenants that we've come across. We can talk to her. She says different things, but we really don't need to focus on her yet. We also have a shop member over here.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell... Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
So, if we look at his wares, we see that everything is out of our price range at the moment. Some of the armor is nice, but we're not going to be focusing on that quite yet. I'm not ready to. We're gonna open this chest and get the Tantanite shard, which is for upgrading weapons and armor and quite a few things. And then we're gonna leave. So this is the main town. We can't open that door yet, unfortunately, but we are gonna get one more item while we're here by hitting this rock and bringing up a corpse. Now we have an Estus Flash shard, which we'll run back over to the bonfire and use immediately. So running. We're going to burn. Just kidding. We're missing a person that's over here. This is a person called the Emerald Herald.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate?
She tends to say cryptic
Bearer
things.
of the curse. I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey. Go on and see the king. He who made Dranglake what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrin.
You may level up by the power of the Emerald Herald, and we will level up by the power of the Emerald Herald.
So that... Is that it? Here, let me see it. so that I may help you.
She's talking about the shard
To
that we
light.
just picked
However,
up. So if we upgrade our Estus Flask, it'll say +1 and we'll get an extra use from it, which will heal us. We can also look at the level up screen while we're right here. We're gonna need levels anyway, in both probably strength and probably vigor, I'm guessing is what they're going for health here. It doesn't seem that I can level up yet. I don't have enough souls, so I'll have to come back to level up. But we're gonna be on our way to an area where we can fight creatures and get stuff to level up, which is the Forest of Giants, which is this way. Of course, we're not going to go directly there, though. We're going to turn around this corner to find a chest for items. And we get a rusted coin. The rusted coin is a luck item. I think it just raises luck. Not something to worry too much about. Cannot pass. I'm not sure why that is. That was the first area that I went to in the other game, and I'm pretty sure it's the area we need to go to. The only reason why I can think of that it's a area where you cannot pass is because the game isn't fully installed. Even though it told me the game was fully installed, and that's why I started streaming. Because the only other place to go is down here, and I don't think that I'm prepared for that. There's another Covenant up there, but we'll get to that some other time. Yeah, because down here's blocked off too, and this is the only other area where we can go. Path open. That wasn't a thing before. There wasn't a path opened or a cannot pass before. I'm not sure why it's doing it now, but there's a chest about halfway down these stairs. Guess we're heading this way this time, which is weird. I didn't really intend to head this way. So we got the Crimson Parma, which is the first shield that we picked up. And I'm just gonna equip it without even looking at its stats or anything. There's a little tiny rope circle right here that lifts up the gate to go forward. The gate is only open for a limited time, so you do need to kind of just go for it. So this is the first time I thought you had to jump across to get this item, and that there would only be stairs on the one side. Not the case, unfortunately. Not a skill-based thing. So this area is a little bit more difficult for people at the beginning of the game, but I wanted to come here to get the bonfire anyway. I don't think we'll be able to defeat this knight very easily right from the beginning, but as long as I stay behind him and keep my shield out, they do kind of swing in a fashion that's a little strange, so you can take them down without too much trouble. There, now I have enough to level up the first time around. Some of these white knights are very aggressive right from the beginning. They get even more aggressive when you defeat something else in this area that we'll get to much later. I do have some trouble with this one usually. This one is a bit of a long-range one. The hitboxes kind of wow. The hitboxes where they can hit you from, you can stand behind this one and still hit me. Off the edge, I'm dead. I forgot that there wasn't a backing there. Darn it. And it's gonna send me back to the village area, which is fine. I didn't really want to be over there anyway. But it's good that I got the shield. Hopefully I can go the other way now, down here towards where I wanted to go originally. The area that we were just at, down those stairs, is called the Tower of Hyde, I think. You face some things there that are kind of difficult. Yes, the area is open now. So I'm guessing that it was just a downloadable type of glitch that I faced for some reason. Where the game was unprepared to actually let me through to the area because it didn't process the content when it said the game was installed. Doesn't matter. We're here now. So you can't just fall down here if you're careful, otherwise you can take the very tiny planks there and get down here, but I'm just gonna fall. So this jump's a little specific, but if you jump running off this corner towards this ledge, you won't fall into the water that's right below us and die. Because there, you can see there's rock underneath this. There's kind of an endless nothing down there. So we're gonna run, jump, and make it over. So pay attention for items. There's no items. Do not attack the giant purple people eaters with one eye and one horn that are over there like that. Because they're very strong and very, very aggressive. So I'm running over here to the bonfire. This will respawn the enemies I just killed, but it'll also give us a checkpoint. If enemies are too close, you can't use the bonfire, so I'm going to kill this enemy first. Done. I'm going to sit down. That would normally heal you, and it also gives you back full Estus slots, which are your healing potions in this game. Done and done. So I won't spend a lot of time picking up items from this type of enemy because their items are useless to me and you can't sell items as far as I know. So they're just taking up inventory space and that's not something I really want at this point. It's just a little bit deeper water and an enemy does spawn behind you somewhere sometimes when you take that item. So beware. Like I said, I won't be spending a lot of time picking up items from these guys. I don't think it's worth it. Sometimes you do get life gems, so if you want to risk picking up a whole bunch of items that are useless, you can do that. Hopefully I only have to go through them once, but I have a feeling that I'm probably going to have to go through this area multiple times. For whatever reason, there's a difficult jump that's coming up that I had to go through a couple times in my other playthrough. A couple times is an understatement. It took me a long time to correct the jump correctly because there's an area that you kind of glitch and fall into if you don't hit the jump correctly. We'll get to that very shortly. So the thing that's throwing down fire bombs is up above us. We can't hit it from down here unless we use a bow. Throwing something up there doesn't really work, so I'm going to leave it alone for now and just deal with the grunts. Those little wavy dudes that are coming towards me are the souls before they enter my body, because I am kind of killing the creatures that no longer have a mind to get souls to level up and or buy items, because souls are the currency in this game. So item, green blossom. Green blossom raises your stamina a little quicker than it would. So the item is right there. And this is the enemy that I talked about that sometimes spawns and drops down on you if you get the item that's down there in the water. This jump is very specific, and if you don't get it right, you'll land in an area right here with the rocks, and it won't let you jump from there. So you have to fall down the rest of the way, climb back up, and try again. And you will lose health for every time that you try this, and even if you land it correctly, you will still lose health. Which kind of sucks. Unless you have the ring from the cat that I showed you at the beginning, back in the original village area. See, I fell down into that area where I can't jump up there. So I have to go around and try again, because the jump is too specific for you to get it first try. Oh great, they climbed up to try and get me. If you get kicked on that ladder enough, you will fall and you will take major fall damage. So that's why I went down. You can also get stuck inside enemies, just like in Bloodborne, and you will take infinite damage for every moment stuck together. Which is excellent, I know. It's so great. I want to hit this jump just right, but it's probably not going to happen here either. I'm going to give it one more try and then I'm going to move on. I did get it. I got it second try. Hooray. Nice job. Here is another soul that we can get, and we'll jump down here. Plenty of the life gems left to just heal me from any fall damage, but we really shouldn't do major risky things if we don't have a lot of the Estus Floss and we don't have a lot of life gems. Right now when we have plenty, it's no big deal to make a jump like that. We're gonna go up here and take care of the thing that was throwing fire bombs. After we go back down, because there's a guy who wants to kick us off this ladder. Thanks. Do you have an item? It looks like for a minute you did. You do. Life gem. Hooray. I actually got lucky and got the life gem. I'd spot falling would have been immediate death, so this one, just walk up to it blocking. You'll take some damage for either getting hit with the sword or for the firebomb, but you can survive. Obviously, I took lots of damage there, but it's not a big deal at all. Missing this jump will either kill you instantly or you'll be very, very close to death. If you stay along the wall and jump, you'll be fine. Short sword and another soul. So you do have to jump back, unfortunately, but like I said, if you stay along the wall and just run and jump, you'll be fine. That's why I didn't want the jump command to be linked to my analog stick, because I do have some struggles with trying to aim my character in the right direction and click down the analog stick at the same time if they're the same button. I did the fast descent of the ladder by holding the run button, which in my case is circle. For you, if you're playing on another platform, it may not be. We're going to continue out this way to a place called Cardinal Tower. Sorry, I hit a button which caused me not to go through the mist, so then I had to start the animation over. Jumping into this room is something that I've done quite a few times, but the thing is, there's an enemy there, there's an enemy off-screen over here, and there's also an enemy. I think it was kind of awkward the way the camera swung, but I did hold the L1 button in my case to lock. And you get the backstab. Dead. We're going to use a life gem to go back to full health, because I know there's enemies right beyond here that can be detrimental. These people with the long swords right at the beginning, they're kind of strong enemies for you to deal with, and they can usually kill you in a couple strikes, if you're not at least a little bit careful. Sometimes boxes hold items, but there is an item right here on this ledge, another life gem. There's a guy above, up here, right there, that throws fire bombs at you, and this guy is a person who holds a bow, so you get to the point where they're trying to throw things at you to kill you instantly, and as long as you're paying attention to where the fire bombs are and this guy in the tree a little bit, you should be fine. Just be aware that this guy in the tree is a bastard who tries to fuck you over. Don't let him, and you can continue on your way. I've died once in 40 minutes of playing. I think that's probably pretty good. There's an item over here along with another one of these guys. So this one you can actually just kind of go behind him and get a backstab, regardless of if he's seen you or not. Witching urns cause you to basically throw it, and it does a damage that's similar to black fire bombs or regular fire bombs. only it's magic-based instead of fire-based. We're gonna head upstairs after we hit this bonfire, because if I die upstairs, I do kind of sad. I don't have a lot of levels yet, so dying is a realistic thing. Dying is a realistic thing a lot in this game, kind of all the time. So it'll say that it's locked, but as you can see there's holes in the door. You can just chop it down. Most of the doors you can't do this with, but this one you can. It's dark in here, but you can click the lock on constantly to see that there is what I call a crystal lizard here that will give you special materials. That was bullshit. I totally killed that. I was hitting it on the constant, but it didn't give me it. If you manage to kill it or roll over, you can click on it to get its items, and it's great. I, however, for some reason, did not get its items. There are enemies in here somewhere. And I think there's even a chest that produces poison gas, so do beware. It's a little hard to see in here, but you can kind of scan your way around. If you're not the type of person that wants to scan around or bullshit, I think you can chop the chest open and still get items. So I'll demonstrate that here. This is definitely a chest, as you can see. Chest. Chopped it open, got the item. So, since it was a trap, it just gave me rubbish. I don't know if that's the case for all the chests you chop open. I don't think it is. But sometimes the chests are deadly enough to kill you just for opening them, even at high level. So just beware if you're opening chests that they're dangerous, and some of them are just traps and nothing else. There's an enemy right here. It is alive. It doesn't let you lock onto it even though it's sitting down. You can attack it and see that it's pretty strong, this one is. You can get behind it and backstab it. But if you're at a low enough level, it's still kinda a hassle trying to defeat this one. Not sure why this one is so much stronger than the others, but it just is. Ow. Ow. Ow, I might die. Ow. Dead. That's dead. Oh, I do know why it's stronger than the others. It's because my weapon broke. So, in order to repair your weapon, you need to go to the blacksmith with the blacksmith key. And I think I missed that somewhere. Sorry, that's my phone. I'm not sure who that person is, so I'm going to ignore them for now. We're going to check if we have the key real quick. So the inventory system... keys. No, I don't have any keys. We'll talk to you, though. I think you have the blacksmith key. You do. You have the blacksmith key here for 1,000. So, this is the part that's great about Dark Souls games. If you run back to the location where you died, you can pick up your lost souls. So, in here, we can see the crystal lizard's back. I don't have a chance in hell at defeating it when I don't have a weapon that's repaired, but it's back, and it will respawn every time you come here. And if we go to the door, which was over in this corner somewhere... I went the exact opposite way. I need to go over in that corner. I believe. Yeah, it's right here. This green mark is how you get your souls back. Yay, I got them back. It's amazing. We're gonna drop onto this tree branch because there's an item right there. It's a little tricky, but if you line it up, you should be fine. Divine Blessing. And yes, I got hit, but I'm gonna run to the bonfire and he'll go back to his original pose, sleeping up there without being a hassle. So if we go to this merchant, we're going to buy gas key for the shop in Bajula, which is actually the blacksmith shop. And then we're going to travel from the bonfire back to Bajula, which was our main town area. And they call that the BONFIRE. For whatever reason. I don't believe it to be the BONFIRE. It's the center of the 4 points for the giant bosses in this game. The main bosses where you'll get the souls to face the king, as they call it. Each of the bosses, when you defeat them, have something called a primal bonfire, which this primal bonfire just tells you it's the end of the pathway that you're currently on.
Fine.
So
I'm a blacksmith. Bring me that key.
he says to bring him the key. It doesn't work. You have to physically open it yourself. If you come in here, you can actually get a chest, though, for getting the key, which has a short bow, which if you like long-range weapons, that's the best. He tells you he can get to work and to come back later. So usually you just have to do something like, we'll rest at this bonfire for 2 seconds, and now he's going to be inside when things load back, and he's all ready to go. Now he's an item place where you can repair weapons and upgrade weapons and things like that. So we're going to repair my axe because it's my only weapon that I have, and we're going to reinforce it when we have enough souls because we can't sell things right now.
I'll be around.
I don't know if we can sell things later. I didn't really come across a situation where I could. Going back to where we were, we want the Cardinal Tower as our new location. So from the Cardinal Tower, there's an area over here where if you had a black firebomb, you could blow up that entire wall for a shortcut, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go down here. We'll go down there later. There is an area down there, but I'm not too worried about it right this second. Guy with the spear, he comes across the bridge if you're wondering where this one comes from. We're gonna go across the bridge just to get an item, but there's not really much else we can do there. This one comes from over by the door that's on the far side. The door that's right there, he just sits there. Sometimes he doesn't get up, sometimes he does. I think it's depending on if he sees you or hears you. There's a guy that's down here, right here. And then we'll head into the main area where there's a bunch of enemies right through this fog gate, which isn't a boss area, unlike the previous game, because this is made by a different developer. So instead of heading up through the tree, we're just gonna roll right here. Woo. And there's a guy hidden right here. If you touch that water, you're dead, so beware. No, it looks like it might be fine, it's not. I know you see me, come here. Great. Life gem? Throwing knife. You're useless to me. Useless, I tell you. Let's go up here. Run this way. So more of these guys. They're only devastating because there's people that are firing arrows at you at the one side while you're trying to defeat it. Bows and these strong enemies do not mix well together. Now I'm gonna die if I'm not careful, because I ran out of stamina there, and there's people firing things as I'm oh. I think I died from fall damage, not from anything actually hitting me there. Which is sad, because I went to go back to use a light gem to heal. Twice in about 49 minutes. That's 2 deaths per... That's 2 deaths per 20 minutes, so it's not too bad, really. I think I'm going to end things here, and you guys can let me know how you feel about me going back to this game, if you want to see more, and what you guys want to see for games in the future. Hit the like button, please. It really, really helps out a lot. And tell me what your favorite part of Dark Souls 1 is down in the comments section. Dark Souls 1. Do not spoil Dark Souls 2. Thank you. And I'll catch you all in the next live stream. Bye-bye!